I always thought the creaking floorboards and hushed whispers were the echoes of ghosts in our old Victorian house. It was the perfect setting for a haunting: tall ceilings, shadowy corners, and a history no one really wanted to talk about. But one night, the voices were clearer, and I realized they were not the mournful wails of spirits but my boyfriend's murmured conversations. Curiosity gnawed at me, and I crept down the hallway, careful not to give myself away. I could hear him through the slightly ajar door, his voice low and intimate, speaking to someone whose name he'd never mentioned in our 2 years together. The revelation hit me like a freight train. He wasn't just speaking to a friend or a distant relative, the way he spoke was too tender, too familiar. My heart pounded in my chest as I strained to catch every word. The truth unraveled like a spool of thread rolling across the floor. He was checking in with his real family across town. They had a child, a life, and here I was, unknowingly playing the part of the other woman in a twisted double life he had so carefully constructed. The betrayal coursed through me, igniting a fury I couldn't contain. I confronted him that night, my voice shaking but firm, and his face turned a shade of white I'd never seen before. He stammered, stumbling through excuses and apologies that only deepened the wound. Our argument crashed through the night, loud enough to wake the neighbors, and his defenses crumbled under the weight of his lies. He begged for forgiveness, pleading that he loved me, that we were real. But how could I believe anything he said now? I felt like I was living in a poorly scripted drama, one where I didn't even know my role. In the end, the twist wasn't just his deception, it was my realization. All those times I felt something was off, all those moments I dismissed as my own insecurities, those were my instincts warning me. I had ignored them, too wrapped up in the fantasy of our relationship to see the truth. This wasn't just a betrayal of trust, it was a betrayal of myself. As I packed my bags, leaving the house that once felt like home, I promised myself I would never ignore my gut again. The ghosts weren't in the house, they were in the lies I chose not to see.